Hi again. I hope you watched the first video. If not, I'll check it out. But the first lesson, the channel rack, the channel rack. This is where you basically build your patterns. So whether it's musical patterns or whether it's drums, whatever it is, this is where it's going to get built, as you saw in the last video. I've seen people run their patterns right up into these areas, and it can get very messy. It doesn't have to get messy, but I mean, because I specialize in hip hop and R&B, in terms of the way I produce, it's better to have it, like I said, more customizable, more accessible in terms of being able to move things around. So the rack basically runs, if you put a metronome on, you can count how many beats are in your bar. So right now I've got 130 beats per minute, and we have 4 beats in a bar. So 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat, 4 beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And based around that is how you learn to build rhythm within those 4 bars. So we could simply just do this, which is what you hear in a lot of house music, techno. And you can obviously hear that's built for certain environments. Like you can dance to that because it's consistent. But when it comes to hip hop and R&B, this is where rhythm gets added. That's why we've got rhythm and blues. That's what R&B stands for. Like, this is where the rhythm gets involved. I might want to move some of the kicks around. So instead of doing this, it sounds like it's echoing. Hold up. Hold up. That's weird. I don't know if you guys can see what's happening. Let me just try again. You see how it's still... What? There's like an invisible kick somewhere. That's crazy. You see what I mean here? What? Honestly, if you're still here, honestly, thanks for the patience. I think I've sorted it. No, okay, right, it must be this kick. Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. Damn, okay. Hope you're still with me. Anyway, let's go. So, what was I doing? Right, so we had a simple kick pattern. And in order to add rhythm, you need to move these kicks around. So, that's adding movement. And there's certain offbeats that you can add which will add tension. So, for example, we might have this going on. But if we want to make it more tense, we could do this. Because it feels like it's offbeat. Or if we want to make it more tense, we wouldn't even put it there, we'd put it here. That's taking it outside of the it adds more tension. I don't actually know the musical term for it. It's like it's if anyone knows, let me know. But if we want to stay in a 4 beats in a bar, like basic rhythm, it's safer to do this. Don't get me wrong, you can place it there, obviously. Like, do what you want. Like, this is built for creativity. But the times I might want to put it here would be like here. But even that sounds a bit off, which is why, because at the end of the day, we're going on this metronome. Remember, it's 4 beats in a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Like, we can step to that. Whereas when we place it outside of that, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's tense because it's not within that 4 beat range. It's basically not in the multiple of 4. It gets really mathematical really quickly, but yeah. But let's say we want this, and we can, like I said in the last video, you can just use that as a pattern. There's not much more for me to say about the rack other than you just build and add your sounds here. All your sounds should be here eventually. Whether it's 808s, whether it's your pianos, everything should be here and accessible. Now, let's say we work with that. When we click on the actual samples, we can get more into the details of what's going on and see what's going on visually. This is the transient of the kick. In the last video, I showed you how to shorten it if necessary. Makes it tighter. And you can also pitch it with time stretching. That lowers the pitch, and obviously this heightens the pitch. But if you don't want to have to, and when you're doing this, you can see that the actual transient changes. I'll have to show you examples later on of when I'd want to use this, but usually it's more so with melodic things, more so than drums. Once we open the actual channel, you can also change the pan. This is here. This sends it from left to right in stereo speakers. So I'll show you for this. I think it's a channel. So that's in your left ear now. That's in your right ear now. And I will show you ways how to automate that eventually, so you can change. But let's keep that here. Now you'll hear that the 808 is clashing with itself. I keep playing over and over again because the residue from it is rolling into the next kick. Let me try and show you independently. You see how it gradually gets messy and muddy. Now, if you don't want that, you can actually tell it to cut every time it starts a new loop. So you go to the little wrench here, and you can click cut self. So as soon as it starts again, it will cut the actual the sample from the last time to prevent it from getting muddy. So it shouldn't get muddy now. But yeah, that's just some I'd say those are really good tips and tricks. Like, they're basic things that you need to know if you want to be building around it. Let me see what else I can show you in here that's not too bad. Reverse, but I'll show you that with sampling because it can get very messy very quickly, and we don't need to do all that now. I'm showing you around. But yeah, like I said, build your beats here, go ahead, but when you're ready to split it so that you can customize it within the playlist, make sure you just copy and paste it into a new pattern, just as I said in the previous video. How long have I been talking for? 8 minutes, right? I'm gonna get it to 12. I always say 12. I'm gonna try and get it to 12 minutes. But let's just carry on. Listen to this. So here I've made a new pattern, called it hi-hats, and now I'm going to put the hi-hats in. And if I want to listen to how the hi-hats sound in the context of the song without being on the same pattern, let me say that again. If I want to hear how the hi-hats will sound in the context of the song without building on one of the already existing patterns, I simply hit song here, place the hi-hats as an empty pattern into the playlist where I want to hear them, or how long for. And then as the song is playing, I can place them along accordingly, and that just helps with figuring out what you want to do, really. So I'll do exactly what I just did again, but this time we're going to do the symbol. In fact, I can show you the reverse with the symbol because that'll be better. Let's say I want this symbol. Place it in the pattern where I want to hear it, which is going to be at the beginning of this bar. And let me show you what the reverse does. So I'm going to duplicate this. Just right click and then you click, where is it? Oh, sorry, it's called clone. Yeah, it's clone, not duplicate. Right click and then click clone. And I'm going to make a new pattern. I'm going to call this symbol reverse. And I want this to be reversed going up here. Now, what you can do is simply click reverse and then place it in the playlist. The only trouble with that is you don't actually know how long this rise is. So you don't know how long it's going to come. See, that's only just reached the end of the sample, which shows how long the sample is. Now, to solve this problem, you can either, you could actually cut it, like trim the actual sample itself. I think that's with the trim, yeah. You can trim it. Or what I tend to do is I'll hit keep on reverse. I'll drag it into the playlist as a separate sample completely. Double click it again. Now it's another. You'll see it's got its own sample, but as an audio clip now. Click reverse, and then I can line it up. I'm holding Alt to do this when I want to move it as freely as I want. Line it up, and I can line up to the drop. Or to create more tension, as I showed you earlier, you might want to move this here. Maybe cut out everything here. And then we've got like it's almost like a rising, it's like a riser. The symbol is now acting as a riser, and this is acting as a release. Just like when you do a big breath in. Same shit, man. Same shit. Right, I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Sorry about the problems that we had earlier. And I'll see you in the next one.